People ask me, why do you risk death? For me, this is life.
Welcome to New York. Anything to declare?
I'm going to hang a high wire between the two towers of the World Trade Center and work on it.
Good luck.
Tommy, you ever heard of a guy named Philippe Petit?
I have.
You have? Who is that?
Yeah, he's the guy who walked across the two Twin Towers back.
No, he's the guy that created the croissant. You didn't know that.
Little Phil.
Little Phil. No, you're right. Yeah. You are right. He's the guy that, what did he do, Tommy?
He tightrope walked across the Twin Towers.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Blew people's mind. And there he is, a young guy right there.
Yeah.
Getting ready to walk. Crazy son of a bitch.
Looks like Tilda Swinton.
He really does, man. And that, you know what, that dude, my man, he throughout life, he ain't never stopped making that face. Oh. That's Philippe. So as Tommy said, Philippe Petit, guy that crossed in the 70s, crossed this wire that he made, he's a trapeze artist, crossed this wire across the Twin Towers. It's a true story. And that's him right there when he was young. And Tommy, here he is as he's a little bit older. Looking like Dame Judi Dench.
I thought that's who that was at first.
They could have got her to play him in the movie. Man, who obviously just ate some lemons or had something stuck up his ass or something. Ooh, even he's looking like, damn, that was a stupid thing I did back then. But some people say it was crazy. Some people say it was bold. There was even a movie that was made about it.
Documentary, right?
A documentary was called Man on Wire. I think this came out in 2008. So that was a documentary. Now we have the dramatic presentation given the Hollywood treatment. So with this, I mean, you don't get no more Hollywood than Robert Zemeckis, man.
That's true. Yeah.
Mr. Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future himself.
Mm-hmm. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Kind of flipped back and forth between quality and some things that were just downright creepy. You know, he was
animation.
And then he discovered CGI.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He did all that CGI zombie shit for a while. Yeah. The Polar Express and Mars Needs Moms. Yeah, he just kind of Beowulf, which was good. Kind of fell off for a little bit, but he's still out there. And this one, he said, "Wow, you know what? Let me get back to wowing audiences. What wows audiences more than taking something, a story, putting it way on top of the Twin Towers, hundreds of feet above the ground, and putting it in IMAX so that it can scare the shit out of people who are scared of heights." And that is what we have here. Now, with this, I told you we have Philippe Petit, who is kind of a crazy trapeze artist. He was always a natural born entertainer, but he was also somewhat of a daredevil. And he always had this need to defy death. And it reached its most dangerous point on August 7th of 1974 when he puts together an elaborate plan to walk on a wire between New York's Twin Towers. Now, with this right here, a lot of people say, well, that's just stupid. You know what, in a way, kind of is. But hey, he's French. You know? And
come on, man.
Well, Martin, I didn't mean it like that. See, just let me finish. Okay. I didn't mean it like that, all Martin. Right. No, Martin, I didn't.
That offended Martin.
No.
That ain't right.
Women can't be FBI agents, but don't dare call the French stupid. That's offensive. How dare you?
Oh.
I love French fries. How dare you do that? Now, Martin, I didn't mean it that way, though, Martin. What I meant was, he's French. The French, they can say anything and make it sound romantic. I mean, they tell you the dumbest thing, and you'll be like, oh, shit, that's romantic. Oh, I'm going to pee in your face and shit on your chest. Oh, that's romantic. Oh, I'd like for you to do that. So when Philippe comes up, if I said that, I'm going to shit on your chest. That's nasty. Oh, I'm going to shit on your chest. Oh, he's French. That's romantic. So he tells you that I'm going to walk in the wire between the two towers. As I say, my best Pepe Le Pew. People are like, oh, that's brilliant. That's art. And that's the thing about the movie. The movie is cartoonish in a way. I mean, the movie's downright it's almost a live action cartoon.
Wait. Yeah. In which way is it not cartoonish?
Oh, wow.
That is. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt might as well be Pepe Le Pew.
That's what I'm thinking the whole time. I was like, you know what? He didn't actually study any French people. He just watched a Pepe Le Pew cartoon.
Oh, I love this wire.
Oh, oui.
Let me take you back to the Casbah.
I mean, the only thing that was missing on this fool right here was an actual beret and a little pencil mustache that twirls.
And a cigarette.
stripy shirt.
And a striped shirt, dressed like a mime and shit. But I thought, now, being that this is cartoonish, I thought that was the right way to play this. It's a live-action cartoon. The reason why is because, as we said, his character in the movie is a cartoon.
Yeah.
But the tone of the film, being that it is a comedy, it might as well be a live-action film based on an animated film, or something that's animated, because it feels that way. Not even in a bad way.
Yeah, like an animated film. I kept thinking that too.
It felt like this could have easily has been a Pixar movie. And then,
Sounds odd.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he opens up narrating the movie, and he has gestures of a cartoon character. The movie has sort of this fairy tale feel to it, that it feels like you're not watching a biopic, you are watching somewhat of a fantasy. And I think it works. First of all, it works to help his performance because he is a living cartoon.
Yeah.
But it also helps you buy into this whole crazy thing that he's doing. When he tells somebody that he's about to walk this wire, in normal life, it'd be like, man, fuck that, that's stupid. But in the context of the way this story is being presented and told, as he's about to tell his new girlfriend, Annie, in the movie, you're like, okay, I can see that. That's cute.
Voila. My dream.
And this is you.
Yes. It will be the most glorious high wire walk in history.
And how high must this wire be to make so much glory?
Over 100 stories high.
Where do trees like this grow?
These are not trees. Two magnificent towers. 100 meters taller than the Eiffel Tower itself.
I see.
What do you think?
She's like, yeah, I think that's fucking stupid.
But she's French also.
Yeah. And yes, of course. Yeah, well, that's great. That's played by Charlotte Le Bon. His girlfriend's also a street performer and artist, and so you know she's buying into this crazy shit too. And that's probably my problem with the movie. I mean, it has some problems, but one of my main problems is that do I believe people bought into this lunatic's plan of walking a wire between the twin towers? Yeah, everybody wants to be a part of something that's bigger than them. So yeah, I think some people bought into it, but it's the way that the movie almost wants to force you to believe that this is art. There's no room at all left for you to call this dude fucking crazy. The movie just wants you to think that this is a beautiful piece of performance that he's about to do, such as like these exchanges that he has with certain characters, like Ben Kingsley, who plays his Papa Rudy, the guy that was his trapeze mentor for years. You know, if anybody knows that this is stupid, it would be him. But no, the movie has to give you. It doesn't ever let you make this decision. It has to give you speeches, romanticize the whole thing to let you know that no, this is a beautiful thing that's about to happen.
Years ago, when you first started to teach me in this house, I was a stupid little kid and I never listened to you, but you told me something I always remember. You said you cannot lie on stage. I think I understand now.
You know, Philippe, what you're doing, I may not understand it. But it's something beautiful.
See, I never bought that. In real life, I think that speech went like, that's fucking dumb, but I'm not going to stop you. I mean, you've been crazy ever since you came in here. So.
That's how you want to go out.
I think the speech went nothing like that at all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I think it would have been more like think about how glorious it's going to be to do something like this, and either you were on board or you thought it was nuts.
Yeah,
but not a romantic speech convince you like, yes, for the art of it.
Yes.
It's like, no, it's going to be either a great spectacle and I want to be a part of that. It's going to be awesome to see it, or nah, man.
Well, Philippe, you will either be a great artist or you'll be a pile of soup on the ground. You know, I don't know what to say. I'm not, like I said, you've been crazy since you first met me, so whatever, man. Hey, congratulations. Do your thing.
Sounds like this is just like the movies through his eyes and through his crazy ass cartoonish world.
It almost is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? And in a way, it works.
Yeah.
Now, I would say that that's also something that slows the movie down. I like the approach that this movie took, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But I will tell you that while we're sitting up here talking about, this will be a beautiful thing, we're like, yeah, whatever the fuck. Well, just walk the wire.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's there to see. You paid your IMAX money. It's pretty much you're paying to go on a roller coaster ride. And that's what you want from the film. You want that moment where he goes up to the tower and he looks down and we get those scary shots of the street miles away from you.
Of course, I automatically look across to the opposite tower, but then I have to dare to look down.
Oh, fuck shit. But, that's the part that we want to get to. Now, I will say that not all of it works, but I do appreciate even the attempt that was put there. The cartoonishness of it, I like. And when you get right down to it, I don't know what you thought, Martin, but I saw it as somewhat of a reverse heist movie, because what they're doing is the whole thing is that he has to plan to break into the tower to even put that wire up there. So instead of taking something out, they're leaving something.
Yeah.
How do you leave all this evidence there? How do you scale these two towers that are feet apart, meters apart, and yet not get caught doing something crazy like this? So it's a kind of a reverse heist movie, and I like that. And the reason why I like that, combined with this feeling like an animated film, it's an interesting and refreshing approach to a biopic. Biopics today, they kind of feel the same. They sort of have the same structure. And right here, given that this is somewhat billed as, even though it's a biopic and it's based on real life, it feels like a fantasy adventure. And I'm thinking, all right, that really works for me. Yeah. Novel approach to this, something we don't see all the time. And while Joseph Gordon-Levitt, while it is somewhat of a very, very, cartoonish performance, he's still very charismatic.
Yeah, that shit seems over the top.
It is.
Like distractingly so.
It is. But again, you have to see this as a Pixar movie almost.
Okay.
And that's what doesn't work. Like, he's very charismatic. You're following him. He's about to do something crazy or stupid, and you want to see him do it. Yeah. Everybody else in the movie, like New Yorkers, like, hey, Mac, what are you doing? That kind of thing.
Damn,
every one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I can handle that.
Yeah. So you're gonna cross that on you mean you're gonna go between the two towers on a wire? Hey, count me in, bud. It's like, it's that kind of shit. It's like, hey, welcome to New York.
Yeah, New York is from the 30s.
Even though it's the 70s.
The honeymooners.
Hey, pal, what are you gonna do there? You're not gonna walk across the tower on a wire? Hey, hey, Mac. Zoinks. Did you say what'd you say?
Zoinks.
Oh, there's one. Now that's what I say. The moment I broke, I don't have a clip of this. I don't even have like a shot of this character, but they have. Everybody is such a cartoon in this movie that it's distracting and not very well written, to the point where they have a pothead in the movie that is fucking Shaggy. He's Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo. Yeah. To the point where he's like, oh, wow, man. Like, there's even a part where he says, you're going to go really high, man. Hey, you get it? High. And everybody's like, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. It's...
Fuck no, dude.
Yeah, Martin. I can tell. I think I like this movie more than Martin did, because Martin will be just shaking his head. Like the more I talk, the more I just reinforce the shit he don't like.
See, now I wish
you have to like this movie more than I did, because I ain't like it at all.
See, now I wish I did see this, because I might have been on your side on this.
I really wish you had, man.
I feel confident that you would have broke character to be on my side. Oh, you'd be sitting here sweating, but you'd have to just admit it. Yeah, man.
Effortlessly, I'm sure.
That's the thing Korey keeps saying. It's like, yeah, you just have to think of it as a Pixar cartoon. And if it was a Pixar cartoon, okay. If it was an anime, okay. But watching a bunch of grown-ass men walk through this shit was painful. I mean, honestly, I was just kind of like, man, this is just one misstep after the other. And the thing that, Philippe Petit's story, what makes it work, just as an event itself, as a documentary Man on Wire, it's like, wow, a human being actually strung a high wire between the two towers, highest structure in the world, and actually went out there and did that. And yet, every aspect of this movie feels so fake and disingenuous. There's no walking on any wires here. It's all green screen and CGI.
Well, come on, brother. They ain't gonna have Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually go out there and walk on a wire in the sky.
Well, yeah, the Twin Towers don't even exist anymore. But I'm saying,
Will's like, nobody told me.
But it's so obvious green screen. It might as well have been a matte painting. Or there's a point where even like the person, like at least have an actor. It's like, no, it's CGI. It looks like the Polar Express at one point when he's walking across on the poles. And yeah, everybody's talking in the New Yorkers. Every single one of them. I was like, man, y'all are not giving me any way to come in on this. And I was like, you know what? By over trying, you've made this story less special than it was. It's like, wow, I'm actually kind of over it now.
Wow,
like,
you know what?
See, and that was what I was afraid of. I was going to ask you, how's that CG, work into the movie?
That's where we disagree, man. That's what, because I watching this.
I don't want to look at some shit that does look like a Pixar cartoon.
Yeah, okay. You remember in the second Matrix movie?
Yeah.
That scene where Neo is fighting all those Agent Smiths. Like there's a point when he's fighting a bunch of guys, but there's that point where it switches over to CG.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go like, all right, I'm gonna pretend like I don't know. And there's a scene when he walk on a wire that would look just like that. I was man, the technology is even better.
I disagree, man. I disagree.
I wish you had a clip of it I could show you.
Watching this on IMAX.
Damn.
Watching this on IMAX, and look, I know this is CG. I know this is an illusion, but there's something about watching this on IMAX and maybe on a big screen that's not IMAX. Maybe it'll work. I can't really say. But watching this on IMAX, the effect of being that high, it worked for me. I felt very nervous when he was on that wire. And
can you see how shiny he is on there?
I can.
That is no.
Like the lighting is completely wrong.
That's actually him.
Yeah, I know. Are you sure?
The lighting is off though.
Yeah, the lighting's way off. Because that's why I talk about how sometimes it's CG and sometimes it's green screen, and that's obvious green screen.
Yes, it's green screen, but I know that. I was watching this. I was able to suspend my disbelief. That's the part that I was waiting on in the movie, and I knew that it was working for me because there were moments where when he was walking on that wire and he would get right to the point that he needed to be at, like when he would get near the edge, I felt that urgency of get there. I just don't even want to deal with this anymore because that's how nervous I was.
He makes it. Though.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Come on, man. It's like when we talking about The Martian.
Yeah.
You and I agreed on The Martian. We know that he makes it.
Did you really just pull that move?
What?
You just pulled that move. Did everybody see that? Everybody saw that, right?
What?
You pulled it like, come on, Tommy, you got to agree. Hey, we agreed on this other thing. So now I'm going to parlay that into you agreeing with me on this.
No, man.
It's not going to work.
Don't let him do that.
No.
He's fucking with you, man.
You just do that.
Hey, I'm just proving a point. He's fucking with you, man. Don't let him do that.
Fucking with nobody.
No, man. You goddamn villain. I'm not doing that.
That's a manipulation technique.
Why are you trying to? Man, we're fighting over a child. Don't use him. Don't use him as a weapon.
No, the thing about that one though is I've seen this documentary. It's a very good documentary, and I thought so.
Yeah, no. I'm agreeing with. I'm just saying, watch this.
That's what
that.
I'm saying, and from what you're describing, this sounds like it's not respecting that documentary at all.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a biopic. You know he makes it. We see a lot of things. We know people make it. It's just the process. How did they get there? This whole thing is scary. It's not about him making it. Is how do you feel it being at this height, being put in that same situation that you would never be in, that he's in, and it worked. I mean, I think that's the strongest part of the movie. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, and don't even tell me the 3D didn't work because I would say this much. As far as IMAX goes, there's a part in the movie where there's a pole that broke, and Martin he almost was in my lap. He's like, fuck! Martin dug hard.
He's right. Yeah, it's early on between the 3D and the IMAX. Yeah, this pole comes at you, and I jumped.
Martin jumped.
My instinct was like, what the fuck?
Let's have a goddamn heart.
And then he looked over at me, and I had a pole in my chest, like, oh, Martin. But
why did you let this happen?
Why did you let this happen, Martin? Protect me. But what can I tell you? You see two different opinions right here. Maybe I wasn't as bothered by this having the feel of being an animated film like some people might, because the characters are not all that developed. But like I said, man, this is almost presented as somewhat of a fantasy. This is like
it's a fantasy about something that actually happened.
But it's the way they present it. It's supposed to be. What if this was the fantasy version of this? What if we do it in a more whimsical way of telling it? And also, I think they want to do this because it's the Twin Towers, man. We know what happens with the Twin Towers, so we had to kind of present this as sort of this fantasy feeling that says, hey, these are the better times of these buildings right here.
But yeah, in the end, it does reveal itself to be, hey, this is just a love letter to the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Remember how magical they were?
Yeah, and I kind of like that. I think that there's entertainment to be had here. There's a few thrills to be had at this. And really for the average audience out there, the things that we're really kind of talking about are the characterizations and the tone of the film. I think a lot of people are going to be more wrapped up in this and have fun with it than what we're describing. I give this a high, I give this a high matinee, and I find myself enjoying it. Yeah, it's not perfect as I told you, but it is fun.
Okay, I came in with the best of hopes about it and was looking forward to it, and overall thought the movie was just kind of lame. Even like trying to be whimsical, I was like, man, this is the most creative you could be with this. I mean, I wouldn't say that Zemeckis shit the bed, but it's like, man, maybe you just don't have those chops anymore. Because if you were gonna go, this way with it, it felt like so much more that could have been done, and I thought it just cheapened the actual story. I give it a rental.
Rental. All right. Damn.
Yeah. And 2 hours, that maybe even a little bit more than 2 hours, I was feeling it. I was like, man, you could have kept this an hour and a half. You padding this shit out.
Is it over 2 hours? I think it's a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I had fun.
But hey, Tommy, have fun.
I ain't watching this shit. I'll pass.
Yeah. You want to disrespect the Twin Towers that way, that's fine, Mark.
Yeah, I ain't living in New York.
Mark, I'm not going to be there. I'm an American. I respect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, once you if you don't like it, once you leave America. America, Martin.
This is extremely illegal, not to mention dangerous.